So we move on to the next note, and that is Ivan. It says the closing inventory of finished goods each month equals 40% of the cost of sales for the next month. Now, you've got to understand that when you're dealing with cash budgets and you're dealing with management and accounting, and by extension dealing with budgeting in total, the language is going to be very important. So if you don't understand how the language is going, you'll be punished for that. It says the closing inventory of finished goods for each month equals 40% of the cost of sales for the next month. It means, one, before you can calculate the closing stock, you must know the cost of sales. Because the closing stock is the 40% of what? The cost of sales. So the first thing we do is calculate our cost of sales. But how do we calculate cost of sales? Let's see, the question tells us something. It says the company has a policy, the cost of sales for each month is 75% of the month's sales. Okay, so he has also told us how the cost of sales should be what? Computed. Then it says the company has the policy to pay for purchases in the month following purchases. Good. A lot is put into that question there. So let me decode it down. 1, we are supposed to get our closing stock from there. 2, we need to know about the cost of sales. 3, we need to know about the purchases figure. Very important. Now, before we calculate the closing stock, we must know the cost of sales. And it says cost of sales is 75% of what? The month's sales. Okay, so let me just clean this up above here. And let me just name that as workings 2. And then I will just clean all these and maintain the sales there. Just clean all these up. All these lines up. So first is to calculate cost of sales. So let's go. Cost of sales. I'll say 75%. So cost of sales is 75% of the month's sales. So let's go. 75% of 100,000. That's going to be 75,000. 75% of 120,000. What do we have?
90,000.
Of 90,000.
27.5.
75% of 90,000.
27, like 26, 67,500.
Okay. 135.
101.
150.
112,500.
Okay. So we've calculated the cost of sales. It says 75% of the month's sales. In the year, go back and question said that closing stock where is calculated. Also, closing stock, the closing inventory of finished goods each month equals 40% of the cost of sales for the next month. Be careful here. So closing inventory. So if I want the closing inventory for July, it is 40% of what? August's money. 40% of August's money. So let's see how it goes about that. So that's 40% of the next. So let's go. 40% of 90,000. What do we have? And make sure you follow the workings here because of the language.
36,000.
Of the next month. So 67%. Sorry, 67,500.
27.
75,000. 40%.
30,000.
What?
30.
101, 250, 40%.
4500.
112, 500, 40%.
45.
So these are the closing stocks respectively. It says the closing stock is 40% of the next month's sales.
Hey, mommy.
You say what?
Oh, you said she's starting. She's
You
starting.
said you are what?
Look at the face. Can't you see the eyes? Then that's and they will straight in here.
You said which one has done what? You don't understand?
No, let them come back here.
What is your problem? Read. Do you have a question there?
You don't have a question. I am an reading.
So what is your problem? So the notes. So read the notes there and let's see. Ivy. Yes. Just the first sentence.
Closing inventory of finished goods.
I can't hear you.
The closing inventory of finished goods each month equals 40% of the cost of sales for the next month.
Yeah. So come back in. This is the cost of sales. You understood how we calculated the cost of sales. So now if you want the closing stock for July, it will be some 40% of what? August. And it goes like that, respectively. So now that you have your closing stock, that is our main focus there about the closing stock. We need to look at the purchases and calculate how much goods we must buy for the month under consideration. So let's see what is happening there. Have you asked yourself why we needed the closing stocks? What do we need the closing stock for?
To help us get the opening stock.
And why do we need that?
So that we can get our cost.
So you can calculate your purchases budget. Because your purchases is the sales
Less opening.
you less the opening stock,
And closing. Well.
you add your closing,
And what I can.
and that gives you your purchases.
And is this purchases doesn't need a value, right?
It needs value. So let's put our purchases down.
Oh, this one is the other way around.
Which one? Yeah.
To get the purchases.
Yes. No, it has been always like that. Less opening and closing.
So it's true. Which one is that we do less close and add opening? I know you're there, right?
No one is financial statement.
Which one is that one?
No, there's so would it be like the same way we know that what we are doing now. You rather add.
That's what she's saying. If you are preparing financial statements and you don't have the closing stock, you have gross profit, but you don't have cost of sales, and you want to compute cost of sales, that you turn the formula upside down. So when you turn it upside down, you add the closing stock to the purchases figure, and then you let the closing to get a sale. So you turn the formula upside down. So that one is not applicable here. So how do we get our purchases? Boom, we bring our sales figures. So let's bring our sales figures respectively. I'm going to follow the months like that. Let me just do for all the months, even though we don't need all the months. Let me just do it. Sorry. 120,000, 90,000, 100,000, 135,000. So we bring sales and we less opening stock. So how do we get our opening stock? Then we add closing stock. So see what's happening here. Closing stock for July becomes the opening for August. We go in that order. So, closing stock for July is, how much do we have there? 36,000. So, follow me carefully. That becomes opening here, 36,000. Then we add it up, and then we get a closing stock for August. How much is that? 27,000. I hope you are following. I'm picking the figures from the schedule here. And this closing becomes what? An opening here. 27,000. Then the closing for September is 30,000. It becomes an opening here. 30,000. Then the closing for October, 40,500. Right? It becomes an opening here. 40,500. Then the closing here is 45,000. So that's it. That's it about that.
The closing for July becomes opening for August.
So closing becomes opening here.
But the
closing becomes opening. Closing becomes opening.
But the closing, you pick what you have worked and another official, sir.
Yes. Because that's the closing for each month respectively. But closing for this becomes opening for this in that order. So give me totals. Now remember, was there any opening stock at July? Let's go back to the question and see if there was. Yes, there was. It says a Rabina note VII. It's there, note VII. It says a Rabina, whatever, actual cash sales at the actual cash balance at the end of August is 10,000, and inventory of finished good at the end of August is what? 30,000. So closing stock at the end of August. Inventory of finished goods at hand at the end of August is valued at 30,000. But we got 27,000. The question has a problem.
I think they gave for one of the months.
Yeah, but the question has a problem. Because this shouldn't be August. It should rather be June. So that becomes an opening for what? July. There is a problem with the question. There's a problem with the question.
Remember, I saw the guy didn't manage to get the pie and also actual. Make sure. Let me see.
I don't like such questions.
Well, it is exams. The question I got more from control and how would they, go about this?
Well, we have students they can challenge at the exams hall.
Exam 4.
I think the question is error. You don't challenge in the exam hall. You finish and then you write a note and attach to it. And
some people come here and they make like that. You will assist the one who said the question.
because
See the question.
there's an error here. We've been told, unless otherwise the statement above there, we didn't read it right. It says, let me go and read that again. It says the closing stock of finished goods each month equals 40% of the cost of sales of the next month. So, we can't get it twisted. So, that should have been June. That August there, down there, should have been June. That would be more okay for the 30,000. Because if not, the last statement at the note IV says the company has a policy to pay for purchases in the month following sales, in the month following purchases. It is not the right answer now or figure now. Our purchases in the cash budget will be different.
So that is it. When she went, first one she got 36, 27, 30, 40, 45 anyway. And then she brought it as we have done. But then, because the question was that, so there was another guy who called on their attention that the 27, she rather change that one to 30. You see the 27 now, yeah, closing stock for August now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she changed it to 30. You can see some assistant one at 30.
So what is the opening stock for July?
It was nothing.
No, there was the opening stock for July. There was nothing there. There was nothing. So
But
for August was the 36.
But the question, the real question there is the answer is September or October. So if there was nothing there, she just ignored it.
Because it's understandable to put the 30,000 there, but if we put the 30,000 there, then what's the meaning of these workings that we did here? It means that the company policy has an issue, or because if there is inconsistency in the question like that, which one do you go for? Do you go for the company's policy, or you go for the final notes there? Would it be a typing error or what? So we can stay with that, like we can put the 30,000 there, like you mentioned, and let's go with it. So 30,000 will be here. That becomes an opening here. Okay? So we put the 30,000 there. It means we will take the notes, they add up. So let's just add up now and see what we have. So let's add up. So September, October, November. But we need August. So add up August as well. Then we'll bring the payment to creditors.
So we need August.
Yeah.
Step 66.
No, that's 120,000.
Yeah, that's 120. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the pro forma. So. Sorry, we are less in opening stock. We less this respectively.
One 114,000.
Okay. Okay, so these are the purchases, okay, respectively, for each month. Name them, who really notes? The final statement there, it says, the company has the policy to pay for purchases in the month following purchases. What does that mean? It means payment to creditors, now the cash budget, August will go to September, September will go to October, and October will go to November, in that order. The question says, the company has a policy to pay for purchases in the month following purchases. The company has a policy, that's note IV, the last sentence.
Okay.
Have you seen it? So the company has a policy to pay for purchases in the month following purchases. In the month following purchases. So August purchases will be paid in September. September will be paid in October. October will be paid in November. November will be paid in December. It follows that order. The month following purchases. So this will be 114,000. This will be 90,000. Do you get it now? And this will be 110. Read the statement and see what. So what is the meaning of the statement then? Read the statement and see the meaning of it.
The company has the policy to pay for purchases in the month following purchases.
What is the meaning of that?
Okay, so the policy is that if this month, July, that they got as user, they pay August for the July purchases.
Yes.
Okay.
So purchases for August will be paid in September. September will be paid in October. October will be paid in November. This is what is going into our cash budget. So that is the third thing we do as part of our workings for this question. So one thing you must understand is the language, or what I usually refer to as the wording. If you miss the sentence, what they mean, that is the backdrop. Cash budget is not difficult. The only challenging thing is reading it and understanding the interpretation well. Then you can comfortably do it and get all your marks. And this was 13 marks, but doesn't have a lot of workings that must be done. So that's up to note I mean.